Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. We are very excited because we have the new Canadian gold mine, and it happens to be a very high-grade Canadian gold mine. We just did 2 years of very hard work to get into production, heads down, making sure the details were all taken care of. And now that we are in production, what we're looking forward to in 2026 is being able to look ahead more and make sure that the market understands what Madsen has the potential to become. Red Lake is a phenomenal place to be mining gold. It has very high-grade mineralization that you can mine effectively if you know how to do it, and we've proven that we can do it, and now we're really excited to turn Madsen into more than this thing that we just got off the ground and with our declaration of commercial production that we did just a few weeks ago. So I do make forward-looking statements. Canada's newest high-grade gold mine, the work that went into this, we bought this asset in the middle of 2023. To be clear, it was a failed asset at that time. 9 months prior, it had gone bankrupt under a previous operator. So we bought the asset, and we knew that there was work ahead of us to fix the errors of the past and develop the right technical approach to unlock the value of this mine. And so we did that for 2 years. Culmination of that process was a bulk sample that we did in the spring of last year. That bulk sample was to test the process, right? We knew that the key was developing the right process. We did the bulk sample to test it. That test said, check mark, you do have the right approach. You can mine this thing the way that you are mining it. So then we restarted, and we spent the second half of last year ramping up this underground gold mine. And so, as of January 1st, the Madsen gold mine is officially in commercial production. And so 2026 is our first year of doing that officially. And of course, it's fantastic to be producing gold in this gold market. And I think it's fair to say that we're really happy that we made our own luck here. This company was started 3 years ago when Shane Williams and Frank Justra basically got together and realized that they shared the idea that there was going to be another big gold bull market, and that the best way to generate leverage in a rising gold market is to be a new and growing gold producer. That's why we pushed so hard to do this over the last 2 years. And so we've sort of made our luck, and we are grateful that the gold market's timing is playing along perfectly to our plans. Like I say, what's ahead is as exciting for us or more exciting for us than what's behind. We always said that the 2 reasons to put the Madsen mine back into production, the first is to realize the value of what's there, which is to say there was a mill, there's permits, there's a defined deposit, there's underground access, there's a tailings facility, and there's a really nice deposit that we know about. So let's get that into production. But the second reason to get this mine into production was always because we know there's more at depth. And that isn't, I'll say, a geologic hope. This is a reality of how this asset has progressed. The upper levels of this mine have been mined 1, 2, or 3 times, depending which area you're talking about and how deep you've gone. But as you get deeper, it has been less mined, it has been less explored, and Red Lake is known for this very high-grade mineralization, these jewel boxes that you encounter with really beautiful grades. So we're very excited to help the market understand that that's what's to come at Madsen. We want to help Madsen shine this year by looking ahead. In more detail, we're mining in some really good areas right now. We will put out guidance shortly for exactly what to expect in 2026. We will continue to put out drill results, and by the middle of the year, we'll put out a new pre-feasibility study that captures the value of what we're doing. So I'll talk about that a bit more in a moment. Of course, I said that Shane and Frank got together to build this company in the expectation that there would be a gold bull market ahead. That's where we are, and this is the evidence that their theory of leverage plays out. And it's playing out right now. So, the GDX and the GDXJ are up very nicely in this gold market, but new and growing gold producers or producers with organic growth, they're up way more. And we expect that pattern to continue. And West Red Lake is a brand new entrant into this group. So we are, I would expect, playing catch up on the leverage that this category of producers provides in a gold market, and it's a really exciting time to be here. I kind of went through this. We got here by buying a failed asset 3 years ago and working really hard, and we have a path ahead. I'll point out the map. We're right in the middle of Canada, the western edge of Ontario. Red Lake is a place that's been producing high-grade gold for 100 years. Madsen was part of that history, and we're really excited for the community of Red Lake as well to have brought this mine back online. The approach really matters. The elephant still exists, the elephant that we've danced with in the West Red Lake room ever since buying the Madsen mine, which is the fact that the mine failed not that long ago under a different operator. The fundamental difference is how we approach understanding the deposit before we mine it. Red Lake gold is high grade, there's lots of it, but it's not easy. It's nuggety, it's discontinuous along the veins. The answer, the way to mitigate that risk, to manage that risk, is to do a lot of drilling. The prior operator went into mine when their drill holes were still on average 20 meters apart. Our drill hole spacing before mining is 7 meters. So a huge amount of what we've done, about half of the spending and work that we did over the last 2 years, was tightening up drill hole spacing, and that work goes on forever. We will always be definition drilling ahead of mine design so that we can ensure that we have a sufficiently accurate and high enough resolution model of our deposit that we can mine it effectively. And we did go through that bulk sample, and now 6 months of operation, and our reconciliation is very strong. We're getting out of the ground exactly the grade that our models say we're going to get out of the ground. So the technical approach works. I mentioned that we're going to do a new pre-feasibility study. Quickly, I want to explain why. So the pre-feasibility study for Madsen, that's the document that people are going to go to if they're trying to decide what West Red Lake should be valued at as a new miner. They're going to go and look at the numbers that came out of the mine plan. Well, that mine plan is based on a gold price of $1,680. It's a little bit below where we are today. The most important manifestation of that is that the image on the left there shows the kind of mine design that comes out when you use a low gold price in a high-grade deposit. You just mine the highest grade bits and you leave the rest of the mineralization behind because that's what a low gold price requires. If you do definition drilling, find a bit more high grade mineralization, and then use a gold price more like $2,500 or $2,600 in your mine design, you get stopes, mining chunks, like the image on the right. We are mining more of this deposit than the pre-feasibility study outlines, and so it is a bigger, longer-lived mine, more efficient mine than the pre-feasibility study outlined. So that's really important. The other thing that our new pre-feasibility study is going to include is Fork, which is a deposit, that's the picture on the top. It's a deposit that's right beside our mine. We weren't ready to include it when we did the pre-feasibility study, 14 months ago. We are now ready to include it. Hasn't been mined before, close to surface, fantastic, easy tons to pull into the mine plan, nice add. And then Rowan, which is our other project. It's 30 kilometers away as the crow flies. Crows can fly over lakes, so the road is actually 80 kilometers because you got to go around Red Lake. Rowan is a very nice, very high-grade deposit that's very nicely shaped for mining. We plan to have that in production at some point in 2028, assuming the permits happen, and we expect to be producing north of 35,000 ounces a year from Rowan. And so that will be part of our new pre-feasibility study. So that will create a document that really captures what we're actually doing at the Madsen mine. This is how I try to paint the picture of what else we expect to be able to find at the Madsen project. It's open in lots of places, in lots of directions. It's less mined as we go down. We're very excited to get down and look at that. So as we think about what this project could or should be worth, as we get recognized as a new high-grade gold producer, those are the value considerations that should go into that calculation. And we're just earning that valuation now, I would say. This is our share structure. We have approximately 400 million shares outstanding. We have a good number of long gold-focused institutions that have backed our stock for a long time. We have a lot of warrants. Everybody always brings that up. We do have 42 million of them priced at $1 that expire in 4 months. We're trading well north of $1 right now, so we like to think of that as money that we expect to come in the door, which we can use to pay down our debt and increase our cash flow. And we have good trading volume. And thank you so much for your time and attention today.